Hello everybody, I'm going to take a look at a new program called YATT, which stands for Yet Another Tactics Trainer. And I found this on chess.com. A member of the forums there posted that he had written this piece of software. And it is a standalone tactics trainer. And it comes with I think 5,500 tactics problems. And you can also, I think, customize the database of problems that you use to solve. I think in the utilities back here, make puzzles, you need to specify a new or existing puzzle file for output, input source, blah blah blah. There's a whole bunch of stuff here I haven't messed with, but apparently you can customize what the problems actually are. And I know that as you're going through the problems, then there's a delete puzzle button here if you think that the problem, the problem that you're doing is not suitable for use for whatever reason. Maybe it has an incorrect solution or it's flawed in some way. Then you can just get rid of it just with apparently one click of the button, though I haven't done that. So the concept here is you do puzzles, and there's kind of a repetition of the puzzles every so often, and that's to reinforce the concepts that you're learning. So say you do a puzzle that's based on a pin, and it has a specific theme like that, a pin or a skewer or a fork or whatever, then the more often you see that sort of a theme, then the more likely you are to remember it. And the concept here called spaced repetition sort of builds on that idea of seeing it again, and how often you're supposed to see it again is sort of a topic of some research, and the spaced repetition concept has kind of been going around as sort of a little thing that's kind of popular lately. There's other software that uses the spaced repetition idea. I use something called Chess Position Trainer, which uses that as well for openings. So I just wanted to show you what the program looks like, and you can kind of decide whether it's something that you'd like to add to your training software repertoire or not. So what I'm going to do is just solve this problem here, which looks like a pretty basic mate in one. So I can just drag and drop. And it analyzes with whatever engine you'd like it to analyze with, and it tells you whether you've solved it correctly. So up here you can see that your move is done in a blue highlight, and the computer's first choice of move is done with the reddish maroon highlight. And it gives you some information up here. Evaluations for white. Yeah, I don't really remember. There was an explanation for what these numbers mean, and I don't remember what it is right off the bat. But I do know this puzzle scoring grade for that move. If the puzzle's not over yet, it's a mate in one, so it's over. Then for that move, your grade is an A. And for this entire puzzle, let's say you left the puzzle right here, but it was a mate in 4, then this would be your grade if you left right now. And of course it's a mate in 1, so those are the same things. And then same thing down here. For the session, you have how many you've done in this session 1 and what your grade would be if you left right now overall, which is an A. So let's go on to the next puzzle and let's see if some of this becomes more clear. Alright, so it doesn't tell you whether it's a mate in 1, it doesn't tell you whether it's a checkmate, it doesn't tell you anything like that. You just have to make the best possible move. Over here it says puzzle last seen, and it tells you the date that you last saw this puzzle. And I have done this puzzle before, and my last grade on this puzzle was an F, which means that I missed it. And I'm pretty sure I remember why, is because I think I played knight f6 here, which is not mate in 1, because the knight can take it. So the correct answer here is knight d6. So I do happen to remember that, and boom, got it correct, and it shows you the two moves, mine and the computer's moves, and how they were the same. And I think that actually is the only problem I've missed on this so far, because they've all been mates in 1. I don't think all 5,500 puzzles are mates in 1, but I think they might be sorted in some way based on difficulty. I don't really know, but I'm going to keep playing and see how that goes, and see if they do eventually get harder. If not, then at least this is something to keep me kind of sharp. So I'm going to do a few more for you here. This is a new puzzle. I haven't seen this puzzle. It tells you the puzzle number up here for reference. Here's what engine it's analyzing with, all that stuff. Alright, so I'm going to solve this puzzle real quick. It's probably a mate in 1 based on everything I've seen so far. Queen b5 looks like it's probably going to be checkmate to me. Queen b5 is a check. This file is cut off. This square is cut off. These pawns are not protected. This pawn is not protected, is it? So queen b5 would fail to king takes d6. So how about queen c6, which is protected by the rook, which I just overlooked the first time, and that looks like that protects that pawn on d6. That looks good to me. Good. So I almost missed that one just by being silly, but I got it. So we'll go on. This is another new puzzle. So far I've done 3 puzzles, and my grade for this session is an A. Again, most likely a mate in 1, and it looks pretty easy. It's going to be knight f7. Knight e6 looks tempting, but the bishop's covering that square. So I'm going to go ahead and play knight f7. This is a typical checkmate pattern with the bishop and knight. Okay, so this is just a quick video to show you what this software is like. I'll show you some of these other tabs real quick before I go. Parameters, you can pick your puzzle. Notice this isn't a PGN file. I don't know the format of this text file, but it might be worth looking. Old puzzle percentage, 30% of your puzzles will be repeated puzzles, and then I guess 70% will be new puzzles if there are any new puzzles that you haven't done. And I really am not sure about all this. Easiest puzzles first. Here you go. This is the answer to the question I was asking earlier. Easiest puzzles first for new puzzles, or else randomly picked. Interface, you can do click and click or drag and drop. I remember I had to come in here and find this because it was click and click by default, and I had to change that quickly because I don't like click and click. Board colors, light square and dark square. Obviously, here's your chess engine stuff, and then you can click that to restore back to the way it was when you got it. Here's the help. There's a video, there's lots of stuff here. There's some keyboard shortcuts, user's guide, and then back to this utilities tab that I showed you earlier. So you might be interested in some customization of the puzzles that are included, or supplying your own. I suppose there are probably lots of collections of puzzles out there that you could use to solve. 5,500 puzzles is a pretty good amount, and I'm going to use that until I've exhausted it. I think I do like this program. I don't think it's quite perfect, but it's pretty darn good. It's got some good information on there. I like the spaced repetition stuff, so I'm going to keep using it. And I guess if you like this software and you use it, or you have some suggestions for it, maybe you could let me know in the comments, and maybe I could pass them on to the developer, or who knows what. Alright, thanks for watching.